now it is time for my favorite segment this week in Shohei Ohtani news. And oh my gosh, he is absolutely incredible. This week was nuts. We're going to talk about his clutch gene. We're going to talk about his incredible performance at Fenway Park and just how good he is pitching. And why I think Shohei Ohtani is the face of Major League Baseball. But let's start with that clutch gene. On Sunday, we just saw it happen live as we were recording this episode. With 2 outs down to their last out, Shohei Ohtani doubles, drives in the tying run, and ends up scoring later to be the winning run of the game. After Mike Trout had just struck out when he had a chance, up comes Shohei Ohtani, and he gets it done. We know that Shohei is incredible. We know how good he is. But you never really know whether somebody has the clutch gene or not until they have a chance to prove it. And how do you prove it? Well, one, you have to be on a good baseball team. Last year, when they weren't winning, it's like, yeah, everything he did was incredible, but they never really had that really intense moment in a big game that they had to win because they were a good team on the edge of the playoffs. Now they're a great team. And they're right on the edge of that first place spot in the division. And with first place on the line, Shohei Ohtani steps up, drives in the tying run down to their last out in the 9th, proving, not that we ever doubted it, that he does in fact have the clutch gene. And then we see him from second base scoring with his elite speed. We literally saw it all. Absolutely incredible. Shohei gets it done. There's no other team. You have Mike Trout up. He doesn't get the job done. And then it's Shohei Ohtani. I don't care what his numbers on the year are at the plate. He is Shohei Ohtani. And he will get the job done when he has to get it done. And he had to get it done right there. And he showed everybody that yes, he can pitch. Yes, he can hit. Yes, he's fast. But man, he is also clutch. The Los Angeles Angels are still in first place. Absolutely incredible. He is always blowing my mind. And guess what? He did it again earlier last week at Fenway Park. He was incredible. Let's talk about this outing. He was pitching at where it all began. For Babe Ruth. Everybody makes the comparison. I don't know if it's everybody, but I certainly have made the comparison between him and Babe Ruth, and then went on to say that, you know what? Yes, there's comparisons, but Shohei is better. And now, for the first time in his career, he was going to start on the mound at the home where Babe Ruth started the entire journey. And for the first time in 103 years in that ballpark, for the first time since Babe Ruth, a player started on the mound and batted in the top 4 in the batting lineup. And his name is Shohei Ohtani. Add on top of that just how good he did on the mound. The Red Sox had 29 swings and misses, which is the most for the Red Sox since 2008. When pitch tracking began. He induced 29 swings and misses. The second most swings and misses in a game for Angels in the pitch tracking era. The second most ever that game, 29 swings and misses. Only Patrick Sandoval in 2021 had more with 32. So he was brilliant on the mound. Then at the plate, one, he hit a ball 400 feet. It ended up being a single because there was a lot that went into this. It was out there in the Bermuda Triangle area of Fenway Park where it gets really deep, but it ends up hitting off the top of the wall. It looked like it was going to get caught, so the runner on first couldn't actually run. Ends up being a hit, 400-foot single. Alex Cora said, that game Shohei Ohtani pitched against the Red Sox on Thursday is the best game he's seen pitched against his team since he originally became the manager in 2018. Alex Cora, best game he's seen pitched against his team since 2018. He threw 81 of his 99 pitches for strikes. That's 82% strikes, which was a career high No pitcher has thrown more strikes, and no starting pitcher has had that high of a strike percentage in a single game this season as Shohei had against the Red Sox. It's remarkable. I watch every single game that he is playing, and I am constantly blown away. How is that possible? All last year, I am mind blown at what he's doing. And now here we are a year later, and I am still blown away by the person that Shohei Ohtani is and the player that he is on the field. It's incredible. Even later in that game, he ends up banging a hit off the left field green monster, and numbers were knocking out of the scoreboard. He was knocking numbers off of the scoreboard wall. It was wild to watch. Ohtani is the first Angels pitcher with an outing of 7+ innings, 11+ strikeouts, and 0 earned runs versus the Red Sox since Nolan Ryan in 1979. He's the first visiting pitcher overall with an outing of 7+ innings, 11+ Ks, 0 earned runs, and 0 walks at Fenway since Mike Mussina's near-perfect game in 2001. I know that I talk about him a lot and with the utmost passion and energy, but I promise all of you that it is a necessity in this baseball world. We need to be talking about Shohei more and more and more. What he is doing is incredible. I sat here on the Thursday show when this all was happening and just was in disbelief almost at what he was doing in Fenway Park, the home where it all started for Babe Ruth. He was doing it even bigger and better than Babe Ruth did that day. Incredible. Angels Shohei Ohtani is the first starting pitcher to record a hit at Fenway Park since Roger Clemens in 1996. Clemens' single was the only other hit by a starting pitcher at Fenway in the DH era. How wild is that? He is incredible. And he did it on both sides of the ball there. He did it hitting, and he did it pitching. Let's talk about his pitching. Let's talk about just how good it is. Because I feel like there's still, when people talk and hear Shohei Ohtani, you think, okay, two-way player, and wow, does he hit a lot of home runs. Let's start talking about how Shohei Ohtani very well could be a Cy Young Award winner in this league. That's how good he is on the mound. He is an elite pitcher. All the stats that I just read off, he's doing things just pitching-wise that are hardly ever done. Alex Cora is talking about how it's the best team, the best outing he has seen pitched against his team since he's been there for 4 years. His baseball savant statistics for just pitching are remarkable. I don't know if you guys know much about baseball savant and how it works, but there's basically these sliders. And if it's blue, it's on the left side and it's cold, and if it's red, it's hot, and it's all like where you rank in baseball on a percentage scale. Shohei's pitching stats are all in the red. It's on fire. The whole screen, it just is a bunch of red. It is remarkable. His ERA, his expected ERA, his fastball velocity is in the 93rd percentile. His whiff percentage is in the 95th percentile. Everything is good. His walk percentage, which I am so pumped about for him this year. This was a massive thing for Shohei, was throwing strikes. His walk percentage is in the 87th percentile. And the best of the best, his strikeout percentage in the 96th percentile. So, I'll say it again. Shohei Ohtani, yes, we know how good he is offensively. Pitching, on the mound, he has the ability to be a Cy Young Award winner. And that's no stretch. That's just facts. It has been incredible this year. Let's move on to my last thing. And it is that Shohei Ohtani is the face of Major League Baseball. I have heard enough, I have seen enough to come to the conclusion that the face of baseball is Shohei Ohtani. Let's talk about why. First off, he is a sensation no matter where he goes. I go back to last year when he's playing on the road and fans of the away team are cheering for him. Now this year, everywhere he goes, people follow him. They show up just to watch Shohei. Then he goes to Boston, one of the meccas of the baseball world, Fenway Park, and an iconic place to play baseball. And those fans are passionate. They love them some Red Sox, but you know who they also love? Shohei Ohtani. The videos of him showing up to the stadium, getting off of the bus, it looked like the Beatles were getting off of the bus. He is an icon. Everybody is showing up in droves just to get their eyes on Shohei Ohtani, to say one day that I saw Shohei Ohtani. Off the field, it has been incredible what he has done for the game of baseball, the eyes that he brings in. I obviously tweet about and talk about Shohei all the time. Somebody messaged me recently and said, I wasn't watching a ton of baseball. I used to love the sport. Shohei Ohtani has brought me back to the game of baseball. I watch just because of how special he is, and it's made me fall back in love with the game of baseball. That's Shohei Ohtani. And then you talk about on the field. I talk about that all the time. He's one of the best on both sides of the ball. It is incredible. I can't think of a better face of baseball, and he is the face of baseball. Nobody shows up like they do to see Shohei Ohtani. And who better for it to be? He is one of the best, nicest human beings in the world. His teammates love him. I was watching an interview with Taylor Ward the other day, who's the sensation on the Angels this year, and he said, don't let Shohei fool you. His English is getting much better. He's having fun on this team. He's rocking cowboy hats. He's pitching great. He's hitting bombs. He's tying games in the bottom of the ninth down to their last out. He's clutch. He's doing it all, and he is an icon, and he is a special person to even get your eyes on. And that's why, to me, Shohei Ohtani is the new face of Major League Baseball. And that does it for this week's, my favorite segment of the show, This Week in Shohei Ohtani News. Thanks for watching. If you love flipping bats, swinging 3-0, or just talking ball, join us. Call us at 213-537-9339 with your questions. We have a weekly guest, and we have a lot of fun, so hit that subscribe button.